Guys, in honor of the new Daredevil Born Again show releasing on Disney Plus right now, watch that show, it's great by the way. I wanted to revisit the 2003 Daredevil movie, and to my surprise, I actually really like it. Don't get me wrong, the movie sucks a lot of ass, but it is insanely fucking funny. Before I jump into the plot, I just want to recommend to you guys that you watch Cosmonaut Variety Hour's video on this movie that he did a few years back. It's really good and it inspired this. Okay, so this movie starts with Daredevil slowly descending down a church and fucking dying. And because this is a 2000s superhero movie, we get a dumbass fucking monologue of Matt Murdock, who is played by Ben Affleck.
They say your whole life flashes before your eyes when you die, and it's true, even for a blind man.
And honestly, he isn't all too bad in this movie. I've never really liked his Batman, but I think he fits this role pretty well. We get a flashback of young Matt Murdock getting bullied by some kids. When coming home to his alcoholic dad, he orders him to never fight people and to study hard instead.
I told you I didn't want you fighting. You don't hit nothing but books, get me?
Which is fucking hilarious, because he made it his life goal to cripple as many people as possible. One day, Matt takes a shortcut for school and sees his dad intimidating some guy. Matt runs away and an accident occurs, which leaves Matt with hazardous chemicals in his eyes. When Matt wakes up in a hospital, he is scared absolutely shitless and starts bugging out. Also, the accident left Daredevil with a fucking sonar sight. Like, what the fuck? Ben Affleck has been playing Batman since 2003. His dad finally enters the hospital room, apologizes, and they embrace each other. And this scene is followed by the goofiest montage of all time with a downright hilarious soundtrack. Like, whoever is responsible for the soundtrack of this movie is a fucking genius. It is so fucking funny. So Matt starts his training arc while his father wins boxing fights. We get the Stan Lee cameo, followed by the same bullies from earlier, making fun of Matt for being blind and threatening him.
Look at his eyes. Woo. Go ahead, fight me, I dare you. I dare you.
But because Matt is an absolute giga-chad, he just kills all of them. Fucking Hector Salamanca, of all people, approaches Matt's dad and tells him to throw his next fight.
I need to see you a boss.
When fighting his next opponent, Jack tells Salamanca to fuck himself and just fucking wins anyways. You know, and this leads to him dying. You know, but the goons are very nice and they give him...
You dead. Kiss you.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, so this leads Matt to swear fighting for justice.
One way or another.
And this scene is followed by a grown-up Matt sleeping in a fucking coffin, which is absolutely hilarious. We are shown Matt prosecuting someone in court where he says this.
Justice is blind.
And the guy he's prosecuting is like a rapist, and he makes it like super obvious to everyone that he's guilty for some fucking reason.
The truth is, Mr. Murdoch, is that Miss Sutton enjoyed every minute of it.
But thankfully, Matt has this superpower which lets him figure out if someone is lying. We get introduced to Foggy Nelson, who is played by Jon Favreau in this movie. Like, the casting in this movie is actually top tier. We get a scene of Daredevil suiting up for the first time, and I'm serious when I say this scene is actually fucking amazing. Thankfully, Daredevil equipped his Featherfall boots, and Daredevil now tracks down the fucking rapist from earlier, which leads him into a bar where he just like chills on top of a railing. And when the criminals finally spot him, we get this funny ass line.
What do you want?
Justice.
And, you know, this is obviously followed by a fight scene, and I have to say that I actually don't think that this is all too bad. I have to mention, though, that the editing is, like, really fucking weird at times. They try to, like, make you feel like you are Daredevil, but, you know, this is not a fucking video game, so I don't really know why they did this. After Daredevil beat everyone's ass, we get a shot of him watching a burning pool table, and this shot goes on for so fucking long without cutting. Editor? Do you mind cutting? Hello? The rapist is the only one that Daredevil didn't manage to beat up, and he flees into a subway station. And this was actually really smart by the fucking criminal, because Daredevil gets like stunned 4 times in the scene because trains run by. And this fucking stun lock actually constantly happens in this movie. Something loud happens and all of this
Sutton.
Daredevil sucks enormous ass. And even though like this criminal has a gun and he could just, you know, fucking shoot him, he just hides behind a fucking pillar and waits for Daredevil to strangle him. But fortunately, another train runs by and stuns Daredevil again. But now Daredevil is lucky because the criminal cocks his gun in the slowest way possible for him to, you know, get unstunned. So Daredevil breaks this guy's fucking back and watches him as a train runs him over.
That light? The end of the tunnel? That's not heaven.
And if you paid attention, that's 3 trains running by in the exact same position in like 20 fucking seconds. They literally manifested trains out of nowhere to make the fight scene worse. Why the fuck would you do that? A journalist named Ben Urich arrives at the scene and questions the police officer about Daredevil. The cop asks Urich why he thinks this is Daredevil's doing, to which Urich pulls out a lighter and throws it onto the subway floor, revealing a giant fucking Daredevil logo. What in the actual fuck? This implies that Daredevil just lets a guy get killed by a train and then carefully put lighter fluid onto the fucking floor in the shape of his fucking logo. This is so fucking funny. We get another dumbass monologue,
Can one man make a difference?
which is followed by Daredevil getting broken up with. And my favorite part of this movie is that Matt Murdock makes it so fucking obvious to everyone that knows him that there's something seriously wrong with him. But nobody fucking cares. Like this girl that is breaking up with him says to Matt that she can't stay in a relationship with him because he just disappears at night sometimes.
Every time we sleep together, I wake up in the morning alone. I mean, Jesus, where do you go at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Don't you think that it's a little bit weird for a blind man to disappear in the middle of the night? Matt and Foggy meet in a cafe where they talk about Daredevil, who seemingly has been around for years, but whose existence hasn't been confirmed yet. They talk about which clients they want to defend, and we get a good joke from Foggy.
Your client, Mr. Lee, he made his first payment. He paid in Fluke. Fluke is a fish, Matt. I go salsa dancing on the weekends, but I don't shake my ass to pay my phone bill, you know what I'm saying?
And in this scene, the Fogster puts fucking mustard in Matt's cup.
Mustard. Come on, man. Now don't put no mustard.
Like, Matt is Foggy's best friend, and he is blind. And this guy thinks it's funny to put mustard in his coffee. And what's even funnier is that Matt picks up on this and switches their cups, which means that now Foggy is the one that's getting fucked. But, guys, this is just normal blind people behavior, right? I don't know, man. Matt is just, he's been seeming kind of sus lately. Anyways, the most beautiful woman on the planet enters the cafe. Like, holy shit, her eyes are green. And Matt uses his superpowers to check out Elektra. So Matt walks over to her and tries to raise her up, but fails miserably.
I was just looking for some honey. Could you help me out?
Right in front of you.
And this is where the movie gets really fucking weird. Like, Elektra just leaves, and Matt follows her by sniffing her scent. You know, so Matt is a fucking creep, and he just follows this random woman, and then he touches her unconsensually. Fantastic.
I don't like being touched.
You know, Matt is, he's a real hero. Defending us from criminals who assault women.
Miss Sutton enjoyed every minute of it.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Take it easy.
And because Matt is an absolute fucking creep, Elektra obviously tries to beat the fuck out of him. And this leads to one of the funniest fight scenes ever put on film. Like, how does nobody realize that Matt is not blind? And this scene is followed by one of the funniest villain introduction scenes that I've ever seen. Some random guy tries to quit working for Fisk, so he threatens his daughter. And now Matt and Elektra just walk through the city with each other. Like, Elektra, Bubby, this guy is clearly pretending to be disabled and followed you like a fucking creep. But to be fair to her, she actually shortly questions Matt on how he is able to do these athletic things despite being blind.
Wait, how'd you do that? How'd you do the park?
Growing up in the kitchen.
But, you know, then just fucking moves on. And now we get another hilarious introduction scene for our second villain in this movie. Bullseye is played by Colin Farrell in this movie, and I just love this casting so much. Like, you can just tell that he's having so much fun with playing this character. So, Bullseye plays darts while drinking alcohol, which is a G move, gets a call from fucking Kingpin, and puts on his coat, where this hilarious rattlesnake sound plays. So this fucking old guy approaches him and fucking talks shit on him. So Bullseye takes off his hood, which reveals a downright hilarious scar that he has. Bullseye takes a paperclip and throws it into the man's throat. Never fuck with Irish people. And this movie just throws like the most hilarious shit at you constantly. Like in this scene, this old racist lady just starts yapping some shit.
Eloped with this semi-colored fella from London.
And Bullseye is so sick of this that he kills this woman with a nut. Like, what in the actual fuck? Fuck yeah, Bullseye against racism. And I just find it hilarious that Bullseye just seemingly likes killing old people in this movie. We cut to Daredevil on a building, which gives us this actually pretty cool shot. Daredevil follows this criminal and just beats the ever-living fuck out of him. A random kid watches this happen and begs Daredevil to not kill him, understandably. And then we get this wonderful reaction from Daredevil.
I'm not the bad guy, kid. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not.
Matt receives an invitation to the so-called black and white ball, but doesn't want to go because he's sad that a kid is scared of him, even though justifiably so. Foggy also talks about Matt's lie detector, as he calls it, and this is another thing that just doesn't raise any alarm bells for Foggy. So Matt walks down the street and gets approached by Elektra, who hunted him down, I guess. And, you know, I gotta say, they're made for each other. You know, they go on top of a rooftop and we get like this romantic scene between the two where Elektra drops this really funny line.
Look at this. It's so beautiful.
Are you fucking kidding me? And here we actually learn that Matt is able to predict rain with his superpowers because, you know, of course he can.
It's about to rain.
No, it's not.
The temperature dropped 2 or 3 degrees. I can smell it. The moisture in the air. It's going to rain any second now.
So it starts raining and Matt tells Elektra that he's able to see her now because of all the raindrops falling on her face. Like, Matt's powers in this movie are so fucking inconsistent, it's fucking crazy. Sometimes he's just blind, at other times he can draw a fucking Daredevil logo onto a floor with lighter fluid. You know, the movie doesn't give a fuck. And speaking of fuck, they fuck. Matt and Foggy arrive at the black and white ball and get approached by Ben Urich. And in this scene, Urich knocks over Matt's walking cane, and I'm not fucking with you. Like, his walking cane is the exact stick that he uses to fucking kill people at night. Like, at this point, just wear the fucking sweater that he wore in the fucking comics, dude.
Look at that. Wilson Fisk is in the hizzy.
So Matt and Foggy walk over to Wilson and talk to him. And Matt actually tells Kingpin right into his face that he's a piece of shit criminal. And we actually get this decent line in response.
We only handle clients who are innocent.
You know, I've learned one thing in all my years in this business. Nobody's innocent.
Elektra enters the ballroom and Matt just goes up the stairs without issue. Like, I'm actually fucking losing it. And here we also get this wonderful moment of Foggy groping a statue's tits. They just don't make him like this anymore. So Matt tells Elektra that she looks beautiful.
Beautiful tonight.
Okay. Okay. And Elektra tells him that she only dressed up for him to see how pretty she looks.
But you should know, the only reason I got dressed up for this thing was that I wanted to look beautiful for you.
Okay, what the fuck? Did you forget that he's blind? We also get this scene of very subtle foreshadowing. Only the smarter viewers will pick up on this.
Good things don't happen to me very often.
Nothing bad is gonna happen.
So Fisk threatens the guy from earlier again, who turns out to be Elektra's father, and they both evacuate the building. And this leads to a downright fucking hilarious fight scene with Bullseye, which opens like this.
New York is not a safe place tonight, that's all you need to know.
New York is never safe. And you know, this movie is genuinely so fucking genius. Bullseye throws a throwing star at Daredevil, misses, and then he announces that he missed. And then he adds that he never misses.
I never miss.
If you're wondering how to write a movie, this is how you do it. What in the actual fuck? Okay, so Elektra's father gets hit by Daredevil's cane and fucking dies. And Elektra sees all of this happen and blames Daredevil for her father's death. And is also too dumb to realize that Daredevil's cane is her fucking boyfriend's walking cane.
Bullseye.
This movie is so good. And this is followed by the funniest funeral scene in any movie that I've ever seen. Like, this is flawless satire.
I know how you feel.
You don't know how I feel. I want
Justice.
drive.
And we now get a scene with Yurik, and this scene is so fucking brain dead, I actually don't know what to say. So Yurik pays this coroner guy money for like secret information, and he reveals that he actually has Daredevil's cane, which, you know, is the thing that killed Elektra's father. And Yurik looks at this and is like,
give me my money.
Like, brother, are you fucking kidding me? You're supposed to be a journalist. But you know, guys, Yurik is actually a smart guy, because the coroner guy turns this hook stick back into Matt's cane, and this is where it pops for Yurik. You know, it's not like he literally just saw Matt's cane a fucking hour ago. Wilson Fisk enters his office, where Bullseye is already waiting for him. And here we learn that Bullseye is so mad that Daredevil made him miss this one time that he now wants to fucking kill him.
He made me miss.
Bullseye's motivation for killing Daredevil in this movie is autism. Kingpin also orders Bullseye to kill Elektra. So Yurik waits at Matt's doorstep to inform him that Elektra is in danger, and this leads to one of the funniest training montages that I've ever seen. We get some hilarious CGI shots, and then we get a fight scene between Daredevil and Elektra, where Elektra uses a fucking pigeon to beat Daredevil's ass. It's a fucking masterpiece. So Daredevil tries to reason with her, and she just fucking stabs him in the shoulder. Women, am I right? Like, look at this fucking shit and tell me that this is not the greatest movie ever made. There she goes in slow motion, and he doesn't react to it at all. Elektra is literally ready to kill Matt in this fucking scene. But, you know, in this scene, he's like super protective of his secret identity, even though he uses his fucking walking cane as a murder weapon. Like, if Matt just fucking told her that he's Daredevil at the fucking funeral, then none of this would have fucking happened. Okay, so the only reason Matt fucking survives this is because Elektra wants to see the eyes of the man that killed her father. Okay. So anyways, fucking Bullseye arrives at the scene, and you know, this is also fucking stupid because they just fucking randomly met on this random rooftop in fucking New York, I guess. So we get this masterpiece of a scene where Elektra throws her sai at Bullseye, who catches it only to throw it back at her and pierce Elektra's hand as she tries to do the same. You could say it was a skill issue. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Bullseye fucking glazes himself.
You're good, baby. But me, I'm magic.
And then cuts Elektra's throat with one of his fucking playing cards. And then he picks her up and stabs her with her own weapon. And look at this shit. This is fucking hilarious as well. After stabbing her, he throws her down onto another roof for no fucking reason. Elektra is fucking dead now, but before she dies, she wants to die in Matt's arms because this is a fucking movie. So she crawls over to him. But did you fucking forget that Bullseye just threw her off the building onto another roof? This movie just does like random shit all the time that just makes the movie worse for no fucking reason. Anyways, now we go back to the start of the movie where Daredevil was fucking dying in the church and this priest rushes to like help him. And now Bullseye enters the church and throws a throwing star next to the priest. And you know, just remember that Bullseye wants to kill Daredevil for the sole reason that he made him miss this one fucking time. And it makes you think, why doesn't this qualify as a miss? Because he wanted to scare the priest?
First one's a warning.
You know, you could have said the same thing for fucking Daredevil, you know, he just tried to fucking scare him. Like, he's just making it up as he goes, dude. He's so fucking funny. I love this villain so much. Daredevil now magically gets up and starts fighting Bullseye. Fucking 5 minutes ago, he was crawling on the ground, watching his girlfriend die because he was so badly injured, and now he can get up and fight fucking Bullseye, I guess. And I love this fight scene so fucking much because it has like the shittiest looking CGI that you can fucking imagine. Like, it looks so fucking terrible. It is so funny. And in this fight, Bullseye uses the Venom strat from Spider-Man 3 to, you know, fucking stun Daredevil again. Bullseye throws like 50 throwing stars at Daredevil, but he blocks them all with his staff and bongs Bullseye on his head where his stupid fucking scar is. In the process of the fight, a window gets shattered and Bullseye picks up like 500 glass shards without injuring himself. Like, who came up with this? But in this scene, Daredevil is actually locked in and dodges all of the glass shards. But Bullseye just fucking stuns him again. So Bullseye gets ready to fucking execute Daredevil, but before he does it, he drops like a huge info dump on Matt.
Fisk was right about you. Fisk is the kingpin.
Like, everyone in this movie is such a fucking dumbass.
Wilson Fisk is the kingpin.
So Bullseye goes in for the kill, and Matt reacts to a sniper shooting at them and positions Bullseye in a way where the shot hits both of his fucking hands. Bullseye begs for Matt's mercy.
Show mercy. Bullseye.
And I actually don't have a problem with this. Now we have established that Daredevil is not afraid to like kill people to make the city safer.
Good luck, son.
And this leads us to like the final battle in this movie between Kingpin and Daredevil, because they still have some unfinished business. So Daredevil enters Kingpin's office and, you know, throws his fucking murder staff at him. And, you know, in this fight, Daredevil actually gets the ever-living shit beat out of him. 20 minutes ago, he dodged like 500 glass shards that an elite marksman threw at him, and now he can't react to fucking punches. It's a fucking masterpiece. So Wilson Fisk unmasks him and then he laughs at him for being blind, which is fucking hilarious.
No.
The blind lawyer from Hell's Kitchen.
And this fight scene is so fucking funny because Daredevil oils up Kingpin so he can properly see him and beat his ass. And you know, they try to do like a callback to the Elektra fuck scene, you know, where he's like, oh, so you're so beautiful, baby. But you know, we have been shown that Daredevil can be competent without having rain on his enemy. But all of a sudden he needs to oil up the Kingpin's ass cheeks so he can fucking beat him. And now that Kingpin is all oiled up, he fucking breaks both of his fucking knees. Like, holy fucking shit. And now Daredevil goes in for the kill because, as we've previously established, he now kills people to make the city a safer place. No, I'm just fucking with you. That would actually make sense.
I'm not the bad guy.
Literally 5 minutes ago, he threw a man out of the window onto a fucking police car. But you know, that's fine as long as he decides to not kill Kingpin after breaking both of his fucking legs. I love this fucking line so much because to me it kind of feels like Daredevil literally looking at the viewer and telling them to like fuck themselves.
I would seek justice, one way or another.
That light? That's not heaven. Show mercy.
I'm not the bad guy.
But we also get this, like, actually cool shots of Daredevil's mask, so, you know, it's a pretty good movie. Matt and Foggy meet in this cafe, and they talk about Daredevil's existence again, and it still isn't confirmed yet. Okay, dude.
Police say that although there were no eyewitnesses, they suspect Daredevil was the one to bring Fist to justice.
After which we are treated with one last monologue of Daredevil, and then we end the movie with this masterpiece of a scene.
Forever in darkness. A guardian devil.
No, like, this movie actually has a post-credit scene where Bullseye is getting treatment in a hospital, having survived the fall, and here he starts completely bugging out because a fly is bothering him. And for a little bit of background information, Colin Farrell has actually confirmed in an interview that this fly is like an elderly person in fly years. So it only makes sense when he takes a syringe and and fucking kills it.
Bullseye.
And that's the end of the movie. Dude, this movie is so fucking fun. Nowadays, nearly every superhero movie that releases is, you know, boring. This is just fucking ass crack, but it is really fucking fun. ADHD score 7, 8 out of 10, doesn't fucking matter. Just watch this movie, it's a fucking masterpiece. If you've made it all the way to this point, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Like and subscribe, and let me know if you have like a funny ass movie that I could make a video on in the future.